Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Real Talk Show. It is me, your host, Malongo Mwanga. So, today, just before we dive into the main topic of the day, I would love to remind everybody that today is HIV testing, counseling, and treatment day. So, get your boots ready and get tested, get treated, whatever you need to do it right now. So today we are looking into suicide. We know that we had Suicide Day just yesterday, and today's topic, we're going to be looking at how young people or what young people can do to prevent suicide amongst themselves. And today I'm joined by amazing young people, as you can see them through the screen. And these people are the ones who are going to just help us dive into this topic because it is an important topic that has affected so many young people. And I'm glad to have young people on board to be able to help us talk about that. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Real Talk Show.
Hi,
Hi,
Malungo. Thank you for
Malungo. Good
having us.
afternoon.
No, I'm always excited to have you guys here. So now we can jump into the topic of the day. Firstly, I think I just want to get a perspective from all of you. What do you think about suicide? I think let's break the ice from there. What do you think about suicide generally? We'll start with the ladies. I'm so biased, ladies first, of course.
Thank you so much, Malungo, for having me today. So, what I think about suicide is when one has decided to end their lives, they don't want to live, maybe because of pressure from work, school, maybe family pressure, and they decide to end it all. I think that's what suicide is.
I think that was a very good description on it. I think let me get it from one gent as well, so that we can get another description from you guys. I think we'll get it from Mark. What do you think about suicide?
Thank you so much, Malungo. What I think about suicide is it comes about when people are failing to open up when they're passing through situations in life. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's good that right now we're talking about suicide when it comes to young people. Or maybe you people want my input as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, for me, I feel like suicide, firstly, I would just love to say that suicide is a very, very big issue that has really affected us as a country and as a region as well. Because as we all know, TYP has now gone regional, so we are definitely talking about the region when it comes to this. And suicide is just simply the act of ending one's life. That's
Yes.
probably, I think, the best way I can really just define what suicide is. So Namakau, as we are diving into this, from your perspective, we know that there are a lot of unspoken pressures that young people go through, and I know you do interact with a lot of young people in these communities and whatnot. So, what pressures do you think are really there that could push somebody or a young person towards mental health crisis? Any idea on that?
Yes, thank you so much, Malungo. So I think what can cause one to have mental health is maybe peer pressure or just pressure from academic pressure or family pressure. People are going through a lot, and in a society where young people they're not understood. They think they're not understood by the elders. So they're going through a lot, and they can't open up. And I'll say for some it's peer pressure. Some can't open up. They've done a lot of things because of peer pressure, because of what they see, of what their friends are doing. Because of that, I think it's one of the causes of mental health.
I think while we are still on that, I think Namakao would really like us to dive into something because you really mentioned
Hmm.
peer pressure, and I feel there's something that has
Yes.
been going on social media, especially about plastic life. Let's name it that. There is a certain type
Mm.
of content that has been there all over social media that can damage someone's mental health and well-being. Like, how does it make you feel?
So I feel it's very bad because people are doing it, and I don't know if now they want to be. I don't know if it's a way of being famous or it's peer pressure. I'm not really sure, but I don't think it's a good thing. So it's causing a lot of problems because that it's affecting their mental health, and it will cause suicide. The first thing that you mentioned, to cause them to lose their lives. So as young people, I don't know, they as young people, I don't know what we're doing on social media. Instead of encouraging each other to do better things, but it's like we're going the other way around now. We want to make videos. That's the only thing that we're doing now.
And linking that to our topic, I feel this what is going on right now on social media, all these videos that are going on and everything just involving young people, I feel it's really, really deteriorating someone's mental health because
Yes,
these
it
people
is.
are being bashed. These people are
Mm-hmm.
being bashed, they're being told all sorts of things, and you start to feel so small of yourself. And the next thing they start thinking of is, okay, how can I harm myself? How can I make this go away, you know? So I really
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I think at the end of this show, we should come up with certain solutions that we feel we can put in place because this is really affecting us as young people. It really is affecting us as young people. Mark, how are you doing? I see you're so quiet right there.
Yes.
Okay, so Mark, I think I know you've heard about certain challenges that girls face, yeah? So,
Yeah.
what are some of the unique pressures and expectations that are placed on young men that make it difficult to talk about emotional struggles or seek help? I think we've had this conversation before. Mamuna Samalila, what do you think are
Yes.
some of the pressures that are put on them that stop them from speaking for help?
Thank you very much, Malungu. There's a saying that says strong and silent. Yeah, so when young people are strong and silent, is that they are taught to, suppress their emotions and not speak out when it comes to, certain issues that young people may face in the society, in relationships, and the like. Like I'd said, wakabad mamona safunika kulihida. You see, ndana wamena nakabad mamona safunika kulihida. Anyone has the capacity to cry and express their emotions. Yes.
That I like that. I think I would love to hear this from a female point of view as well. Namaka, what do you think about Mamula and Sabalila? What do you think about that phrase?
I think the phrase Mamuna Samalila is wrong. A man should
Mm.
cry. You are hurt, you're not okay. You should cry. Feel free to cry.
That's actually very true because I feel there's something wrong with harboring emotions, you know?
Mm,
Because even as a lady, if I'm going through something and I don't get it out, there's just what word can I use? Chikonko. I don't know, somebody to help me with the
mm.
English term of chikonko, but there's just that heavy thing that just hits your throat, and trust me, that thing can kill. It's like you've gotten a whole big sweet potato and just put it down your throat without
It's
water.
just
You know how that
here.
feels. Uh-huh. That's what I mean by chikongo. Brian, welcome back. You keep dropping off and coming back, but we are glad to have you here on the show as well. So we were talking about Mamuna Samalila because I asked Mark how certain challenges that men face and how they are able to work around them and how they are able to deal with them. So it led us to talk about how men are able to express themselves, and you brought the topic of Mamuna Samalila. What would you like to say about that?
Wonderful conversation, Malongo. I think that statement is one of those statements that has led more suicide in men than women. So young men are taught to say "Mamuna sama leader," even when you're going through a lot of challenges. Could it be you're facing pressures? Could it be your health, where
Mm,
maybe, for example, you have STIs, you have like tomorrow is like today is HTC day. Maybe, for example, you test HIV positive and you are unable to talk to anyone. So with that statement
mm.
to say "Mamuna sama leader," that's toxic masculinity where men are supposed to be just there. I think it has also led to more men committing suicide than women. So it's high time, Malongo, we change that story, that narrative. That statement should be Mamuna actually is supposed to cry when things are not okay. So I think for me, that statement is one of those that has led to high numbers of suicide in men, Malongo.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. I hope I didn't catch it short. I think it was
No, no,
breaking
no.
somewhere there. Is everybody able to hear him clearly? Or maybe it's just on my end.
Yes, Malungo, we're able to hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
So
we can hear you.
okay. Okay, all right. Thank you. That's actually good. Still on Brian. Brian, are you still with us?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, are you still with us?
Yes, Malungo.
Okay, okay, great. So, speaking of foresight, because this is like our main topic right now, and I think everything that happens comes with signs and symptoms, right? What are some of the early warning signs that you've noticed in friends who might be struggling, and how do you approach those conversations? Let's say you're seeing certain signs on somebody that they're struggling. How exactly do you approach such conversations with them?
Thank you so much, Malongo. I think you notice signs like withdrawal, where these young people, especially men, tend to lose interest in being around other people. Others will lose interest in previous enjoyable activities. For example, if this young man used to enjoy playing football, when they're going through that mental breakdown where they have suicidal thoughts, they intend to like lose interest in those activities that they used to enjoy. So I think others will also others will also bring out statements like I have nothing to lose, statements like why am I even here anyway? So I think coming to helping them, one of the major thing you can do is not being judgmental. You know, when someone is going through those mental breakdowns, especially when it's a man, and you remember that statement that you said that Mamuna Sama leader, then you just tell your friend that Iwe, Mamuna Sama leader. I think that also increases the chances of this young man committing suicide. So how do I approach such situations? I think I've had quite a number of young people when I see they are not doing great in terms of their mental health. In this case, when you realize that they have those signs that I mentioned, the withdrawal, the lack of interest in previous enjoyable activities. I intend to just be there to listen to them. You tell them, I'm just here to listen. You are the best person to solve your problems. So I'm just here as an ear to hear you. Together we can come up with those solutions. And you understand that all they need is just someone to talk to. And when they have that ear, you find that they will express themselves and they intend to at least feel better. Yes, it's not a one-day thing, but in the process, you find that they get back to normal. And I think that's the best way to prevent, just being there for them, just being non-judgmental. Thank you so much, Malu.
Yeah, that was a very good response. I feel like sometimes you don't really have to physically help somebody. Let me say by giving them something or anything. I feel like sometimes just being there for someone just gives this certain feeling of comfort, this certain feeling of somebody is here for me and I'm able to express myself with this person. So just being there for someone is actually a good thing, if I may say. Mark, let's talk about young men. I do know you're a youth and you're a young man. When a man experiences setbacks, there are different types of setbacks. It might be academic, it might be a failed relationship. What are some of the typical thoughts and feelings that could lead to a sense of helplessness? Like, let's say you're just facing some setbacks like that. What are
Thank you so
those thoughts that can just make you feel hopeless? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marungo. So there are a lot of things that can make a man, withdraw in certain things when they are having a setback. Yeah, one of them is in terms of academic, their performance will come down. They'll start isolating themselves. They'll start hiding themselves in places where no one can even see them. They seek to say nimawani akuti bazinooneramu naferuka nashita bwanje nimawani. So they prefer hiding from the general public. Yeah.
Just to add on what you said, I feel like some of the thoughts and feelings that could just lead to somebody feeling so hopeless is just the feeling of failure. I feel when you feel like a failure, that's the worst enemy you could ever have for yourself or to yourself as a human being. Once you feel like it's failure, you feel like you can't do anything, you feel like you're worthless, and you just feel so hopeless. But then, as we are here, I feel we are here to encourage people that setbacks are normal. It's okay to
Yes.
face a setback because you can always jump on, you can always do better. Even if you
Mm.
fail in your academics, because I think I failed before. I've actually failed in my academics before. But now imagine if I had those feelings where I feel like a failure, I wasn't going to be where I am now. Maybe our guests have never failed. Please feel free and tell me that.
No, no.
Maybe.
I've also failed before.
You see, and how
Yes.
how exactly did you handle it?
So I didn't give up. I failed in my academics as well. Yes, I
Yeah.
went back to rewrite some of the subjects that I failed and I passed them.
See,
Yeah,
and
Yes.
here.
also me Marungo, yeah. For me, I wrote GCE 4 times, Marungo. But guess what? I never gave up until I made it. Here I am now.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
You
these are
see?
some of the stories that the young people who are watching us right now are supposed to be hearing because they have gone through all these. We have gone through all these. So I would really want to make them feel that they are not alone in this. At least they have peers, because at this point I think I can proudly call myself a peer. But they have peers who have steps through certain things that they are going through and look at where we are. So even you as a young person, it does not matter what type of setback you've had, you're always able to just move forward and you're always able to just be someone who's new. Now, Namakau, I think there's so much. I've heard a lot of people say, no, this person on social media is just posting this for attention. This person is just saying this for attention. As young
Mm.
people, how do we tell the difference between getting attention on social media and genuinely having a positive impact? How can we tell the difference between the two?
Okay, so mostly when someone wants attention on social media, you see they want likes, they want views, they want a lot of followers. But when someone is genuinely, that person really is doing wants to make an impact on social media. You see their stories, you see how they encourage someone, they tell their stories, how they failed something and they worked hard and got back to it. So it's how they portray themselves. There are scandals where today they want to trend and tomorrow we have another trend and we're going to forget about that person. In a month's time we won't even remember you. But so since you're doing it for followers or likes, we're going to forget about it. But for someone who's saying something that matters, he's that person is teaching about a skill or talking about something important, we're going to remember it. We even go back to it and say, oh, I even tell some of my friends, oh, go check on that page. That person is saying this and this and this and this and this. So I think
Yeah.
that's the difference. Yes.
I like your response on that. I think everybody can agree with me. Whenever you are doing something to make a positive impact, trust me, people
Mm.
don't forget about it.
Yes, they
People
don't.
don't. There are so many scandals that we've had on social media, left, right,
Mm-hmm.
center, all sides of topics. But come now, we are not talking about what happened last month. Why?
No.
Because certain things that have been there have just been for attention. But then there are certain things that we've had that have been there to help the youths. And let me even give an example. I'm not trying to praise us as TYP, but let's look at the Rahai. We did the
Yes.
Rahai. It's still being talked about right now. Believe
Yes.
me, go on social media, people are still talking about the Rahai. People are looking forward to the Rahai, the 2025 one, because of the type of impact that it gave. So I really like your answer on that. And Brian, would you like to add on how we can differentiate between attention seeking or really causing an impact? Hello, Brian? Can we all hear him?
No.
Okay, I think let me jump that question to Mark. so that when Brian is able to come back, we can get back to him. Mark, can you just give us a difference from your point of view between getting attention on social media and genuinely having a positive impact?
Yeah, thank you very much, Malungo. So when it comes to getting attention on social media, there are a lot of videos that are trending now, whereby girls and boys are acting videos that are not pleasing in our sight and everybody's sight. That is attention seeking. Now, when when it's not attention seeking, you want to create something positive. Is where you post something that is educative, like how can you prevent yourself from committing suicide, all sorts kind of things. Yeah.
Is Brian back with us? Brian, are you back?
Malonga, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, great. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Yes. So I think social media is one tool that, if used correctly, it can help us to reduce some of these incidences of suicide. I think, like you mentioned, it also depends on what us the young people digest. What do you choose to have an impact in your life? So, like Mark mentioned about the videos that have been trending, yes, there's yeah, people are watching those videos, but what really, as a young person, do you follow on social media? If you follow, like you mentioned, the TYP, look at the topics that we're talking about. So I think it all goes back to us, the young people, to say what is it that on social media is going to affect you, or what is it that you're going to allow uh, to affect you and not to affect you, because social media is like a two-way thing where there's good and bad at the same time. So it's up to you to choose whether you want the good part of it or the other side of it. Otherwise, social media also has, I would like to mention that it has also brought some, I would say, unnecessary pressures to us, the young
Yeah.
people, where
Oh,
you want
yes.
to follow what these our celebrities are doing. You want
Oh,
to follow the life that they're having, and you find that you look at your finances, they are not fine, and you find yourself in those situations where you can't fund what they're doing, but you want it. Then you end up
yeah.
having those mental issues. I think social media is a two-way thing generally. Thank you, Malongo.
Yeah. I think there's something that you've actually brought to my mind right now. Seeing how we're actually looking at suicide right now, I think lifestyles have really put people in certain situations where their only resort, they feel like the only resort they have is suicide. We've had cases where people are committing suicide because they have debts. And
Yes.
when you follow the root cause of those debts, trust me, it's the good life. You're getting money because you want to live the way a certain person is living. And you're in this debt, and at the end of the day, you can't settle it. And now they are threatening you. You have to go to the police station. You are ashamed. You don't want this whole drama. And the only thing that you're thinking about now is suicide. So I think let's also be able to look at the lifestyles. Like, guys, just be you. Be you. The person that you are will lead you to where you want to be. Social media has so much going on. The person you're admiring now, you don't know where they're getting their finances. You don't know what's financing them or what type of lifestyle they are living. And then for you, because you're saying, oh, maybe they're getting money, you go and borrow. And come 3, 4 months from now, when you can't pay back, you decide to end your life. I think let's try as young people to really help to fight that. And since this reminder was brought to Brian, I was brought to me by Brian, I think I would like us to talk about solutions, because every time we have a topic, we need to come up with solutions about it. So, what's one practical strategy? And by that, I mean something that you could start right now in your community or in your school, wherever, that you believe would make a difference in preventing suicide.
Thank you, Malongo. Indeed, we also need those solutions. I think one of the most effective on my side, having worked with young people and being a young person, I think a friendly space where young people can meet and discuss those issues. You understand that when young people are just young people alone, they tend to talk about even issues that they cannot share with their parents, their siblings at home. But when they're in that youth friendly space, I think the real issues come out of those youth friendly space. So if you can build on those youth friendly spaces, the peer to peer approach, I think that can be very, very effective. Looking at young people, they want to someone to listen to them. Just recently, you heard there's a young person, it should be in America, who committed suicide. He was following, it should be instructions from ChatGPT, trying to talk
Yeah.
in the, social media and this technology, you see. But if you can have a young person to talk to, I think that can be very effective. And just building on the youth friendly spaces, I think Malongo, that can be, yeah, effective.
Yeah, so youth-friendly space. I think
Mhm.
we're actually going to jot that down when it comes to just creating this
Yes,
something that's practical. We can have youth-friendly spaces where we also talk
yes,
about suicide. Oh, if it allows, we even specify it on suicide. We have all these different types of youth-friendly spaces, and then we have one specific one where we're just bringing out solutions on how to stop suicide in our country. So I'll pose a similar thing to Namakao. What's one thing you believe schools and communities could do right now with minimum resources, of course, that can help to create a safer space for young people to talk about their mental health? What do you think we can do right now?
Okay, I think for schools and churches, let's create a safe space for young people where they're free to talk about their feelings, talk about what they're feeling. Like Brian mentioned, the friendly spaces that we have in healthy facilities. Let's have one in schools. Let's have one in churches as well, so that young people are free to talk about how they are feeling and and what challenges they have. And let's
Yeah.
normalize having conversations about mental health. Not when one is talking about mental health, no, he's weak or Mamuna Samalira. No, let's
Mm-hmm.
have those conversations. They're important. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Malung.
Yeah,
Malongo,
I
I think,
think
yeah, she just
yes.
opened my mind a bit. So I think she mentioned a very good point to say these friendly spaces are not just supposed to be at health facilities, but let's take them in
Mm-hmm.
schools, let's take them in churches, because other young people might not come to these health facility
Yeah.
based youth friendly spaces because there's stigma around it. Maybe they're just calling it a youth friendly space, but they're going to access services. But if we can have them even in schools as well as churches, I think that can be also effective. Just to add on
Yeah,
what
that
you. Mhm.
that's a very good one. That's a very good one because trust me, not everybody goes to health facilities to go and attend
Mm.
these friendly spaces. But at the moment, education is free. So we know the majority of youths are in schools.
In
So
school.
if we
Mm.
can, yeah, so if we can take these youth-friendly spaces in these spaces where the majority of the youths are, it would really make the world a better place and it would make everything so easy right now. Mark, same
Yes,
line
ma'am.
of question. I feel like I'm asking the same line of question, just twisting it a little bit. So if you were to start a youth-led initiative to support other young men, what would be its main focus or what would it look like? What would you look at really you as a person if you were to start up something like that?
Yeah, thank you very much, Malungu. For me, if I was given an opportunity to start a youth-friendly space, my main focus
Mm.
would be young people speaking out their mind, without hiding what they are going through. Because there's
Yeah.
this thing in Makamba to say a man or a boy by the age of 20, you have to make it in life. You find that by that age, you are pitted and pitted about 27, and then you haven't yet made it. What will come into your mind is that time yanisia, let me just do something so that maybe nitoke poche pachalo and the like. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a very good initiative. And just to add on, I think I would just to add on the questions that I asked you, one of the youth-led initiatives that I think we can come up with that can support young men is spaces where, let's say we have a program that makes young men understand that they are free to express their emotions. I'm so keen on this thing of men expressing their emotions because trust me, it's so easy when a woman commits suicide, people easily know reasons as to why. But have you ever seen a man committing suicide and the reason is there and you know it? Like
No.
everybody's so surprised. But this one was so happy. No, this one we were drinking together yesterday. We were actually this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard for us to know what really caused the death of somebody or a young man to kill themselves. Why? Because they feel like they're not free to express their emotions. So thinking about an initiative that's surrounded around that, it would really help with a lot of things. At least just helping these young men be open. Yeah, and one last thing, I know I mentioned it before, but I still want to remind the viewers out there that TYP has gone regional, and today is the HIV testing and counseling and treatment day, which is HTCT. So go to that health facility that's near to you and be able to access these services so that you can live a better future. So one last round, I think, what advice do you people have for these young people when it comes to suicide? Anything that you just feel like a young person needs to hear from a fellow young person right now to make change? What do you think that is? Who wants to go first? I don't want to pick because I'll be biased again and say ladies first.
We know ladies first.
Yeah.
Ladies
Okay, since the majority has voted ladies first,
Ladies
what
first.
would you just like to tell the young people? Yeah.
So, one thing that I would tell the young people is feel free to talk to any close person that you have. Don't just keep it inside, saying, no, if I tell my friends, find someone that you can trust, that you can tell how you're feeling, what you're going through, what you're passing through. If it's going to your
Mm,
pastor, maybe you trust your pastor more, go to your pastor and explain to him what you're going through rather than killing yourself.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Malungo. Yes.
Thank you so much, Namakao. That was very good advice. And I know the young people are listening to it right now. Mark?
Yeah, thank you very much, Marungo. My advice to the young people is that suicide is never a solution. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
find someone who you can share your problems with. They say a problem shared is indeed a problem solved. So if you can talk to anyone, maybe they can, help you to at least, put you where you are supposed to be. Not in Peter Mvata, whatever, whatever. Just share your problems, and I'm sure
Yeah.
all can be spread out.
Yeah. Brian?
So for me, Malungo, my advice to the young people, wherever they are watching us from, I think we all have our own time. Like it's not society will tell you at this age you're supposed to have this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to have this or that. I think that also is one of the reasons towards why young people end up giving up in life, like committing suicide.
Yeah.
So as a young person, just know that you have your time, and what happens to your other young person might not be the same thing that happens to you. So take care of your mental health, know what you digest, know what comes into your mind, select what is supposed to affect you and what's not supposed to affect you. There are certain things that often as young people we worry about, and we usually
Yeah.
have no control over them. You see, so for those things that you can control, yes, you can put an extra mile to solve those problems. But those problems that are like natural, you can't
Yeah.
control them. Like for example, choosing the family that you're born into, that's not something
Yeah.
that you can control. So as a young person, you have to choose your problems. I think so. It's not everything that is supposed to affect you. So please guard your mental health jealously, and yeah,
Yeah.
when you're found in a situation where you have those suicidal thoughts, where you have mental breakdown, it's okay. Find someone to talk to. It could be a
Yeah.
peer, it could be just any other person. Like Mark said, problem
Mm-hmm.
shared is a problem solved.
Problem
With
child.
that said,
Yeah.
Malongo, before you cut me short, I submit, Malongo.
No, thank you so much. I think the advice was really good, and I was really dwelling into it, so I wasn't even going to cut you short. But either way, I think just to add on as well, I would like to tell the youths out there that you are never alone. As long as you have people who are in your age group, as long as you have people who are your fellow youths, as long as you have people, even adults themselves, you are never
Yeah.
alone. So, whatever you're facing, there's no problem that's big enough to kill you. Believe
Yeah.
me, there's no problem. So, just be able to walk through it, be able to find someone who can help you fight. Just have that fighting spirit as a young person, because you know the light is brighter at the end of the tunnel. I hope I said that statement right. There's a bright
Mm-hmm.
light at the end of the tunnel all the time. So just be there, guard your mental health jealously, as Brian mentioned. Just be the person you want your child to be or the next generation to be. I think that would help so many people. I think we have definitely come to the end of this program, to the end of this show. And trust me, this was a very nice and interactive session. We spoke about suicide because we have been commemorating it. And the whole of this week, actually, this is something that we have been talking about and something that we've been bringing to light because we celebrated it on the 10th of September. But
Yeah.
either way, I hope all the advice that came from our guests, amazing youth. This is advice from your fellow youth. So don't be scared. This is advice from your fellow youth, and it was very, very amazing. I just hope it has been able to touch your hearts right there that is watching our show today. So for now, from me, from TYP, from the Real Talk Show, it's a bye-bye to everybody, and to our guests, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.